much for joining me tonight. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef, and tonight I'm celebrating 26 years with Pampered Chef. So thank you so much for joining me. I still can't believe when I say those numbers out loud how long it has been since I did that very first Pampered Chef party in my grandma Charlotte Mussel's house in Stockbridge, Georgia, when I was 18 years old. So if you guys don't know my Pampered Chef story, I'm just going to give it to you in just a little short recap, give everybody a chance to kind of join us here. But I joined Pampered Chef when I was 18 years old, but my Pampered Chef journey started about 3 years before that. When I was 15, my mom asked me if I wanted to drive her to this cooking party that one of her teacher friends was hosting at her house. So in Georgia, when you're 15, you can get your learner's permit. And so I was willing to take her anywhere that she wanted to go. And so I drove her to the Pampered Chef party. And while we were there, I realized, my 15-year-old brain realized that I could get paid to eat. And I thought that was pretty cool. And so when we left that party, I told my mom that I was going to be a Pampered Chef lady when I grew up. And so when I turned 16, I hosted a Pampered Chef party with a consultant at my mom's house. And I tried to join Pampered Chef when I was 16, but unfortunately you have to be at least 18 years old to join Pampered Chef. And so I had to wait 2 years and a few months, because that was really long before Pampered Chef had a website. So I couldn't go to pamperedchef.com. Very few people had emails back then, right? And so I had to sort of try to find someone, because nobody would return my phone calls. And so that was really discouraging, but I kept looking for somebody, and thankfully my cousin Rebecca, she hosted a Pampered Chef party. I found out about it the night before when I was at a family reunion. There was a Pampered Chef catalog on a chair, and I went around the room and I'm like, who brought this catalog? And told her to make sure that she told her consultant that I would be at the party the next day, and that I was coming with all 6 parties that I needed to have booked to get my business started. Because back then in 1999, you had to have 6 party dates to actually join Pampered Chef. And so I talked to my aunts, I talked to some of my mom's friends, and I hosted my first party myself at my grandma's house. And I told Keith tonight, I said, the next time we're at grandma's, I've got to get a picture behind her countertop, because I don't know if anybody took any pictures that night, and I don't think I have a picture at all of me standing behind that counter on Pine Drive. So I'm going to be getting a picture the next time I go see grandma. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. It looks like you guys are making your way in. A couple of things. If you want me to answer your questions later, or if you want to interact with me at all tonight, make sure that you log in to YouTube. There should be a sign-in button. You do use your same login information as it for your Google. So if you have a Gmail account, like if your email is through Gmail, you're going to sign in on the YouTube platform with your Gmail login. If you don't log in, you're not going to be able to interact with me, but that's okay. For those of you that do have it and want to interact, that is how you leave the comments. And so I want to make sure everybody knows that. I will be answering all of your questions at the very end tonight. I'm going to show you 2 quick and easy recipes. Both of them are easy mixes from Pampered Chef. So we're going to be making our sweet cornbread and our chili meal mix. Both of these come together in no time at all. We're going to start with the cornbread so we can get it in the oven baking. Then we're going to make our chili right here on this burner using some Pampered Chef cookware. I know you guys are going to love it and definitely want to have it. So in case I forget to tell you, we do sell these as a 3-pack. So you get 3 cornbreads and 3 chili mixes. It saves you, I think, $1, but still, it's a nice little bundle. You don't have to add all those items to your cart. You can just add one and get them all. I'll tell you about some specials here in a few minutes, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do some giveaways live, and then the rest of the giveaways will be done after the party. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to bake this in our 8x8 Brilliance bakeware. Now, what I want you guys to do is, if you have any of our Brilliance bakeware pieces, I want you to leave something in the chat if you're logged in and able to leave comments tonight. Tell me which one you have and why you love it, because I'm getting text messages so often. I actually got one today and another one a couple of days ago about how amazing this is. So if you've tried it, then I know it's blowing your mind, because it's the most non-stick bakeware I've ever seen. I am actually not going to spray this with anything tonight. However, Pampered Chef suggests that if the recipe tells you to grease your pan, brush it with oil or butter rather than using an aerosol spray. just so that it doesn't stick. But most people, I think, are not using anything in here. So tonight, I'm not gonna use anything. I'm just gonna put the mix right in there. So this does come with a storage lid. The lid is not for baking. So if you put this lid in the oven, it is going to melt and it's gonna ruin your dinner and your night. So I love this lid, it's for storage. We have a 9 by 13 size, and we also have a set of 2 long loaf pans, which is a 1.5 size of a loaf. I have made all of our mixes as 2, like a double loaf in those. The only one that'll make you anxious is the chocolate banana bread, because it fills it all the way to the top and it does get really, really tall. If you do 2 chocolate banana breads in the long loaf pans, I recommend you put some foil down just in case you have any spillage, but technically it's 1.5 loaf size. We also have a baking rack with a half sheet pan. They're amazing. I had somebody text me the other day about that, and I can't remember if she made jalapeno bacon wrapped peppers, I think. Lori, if you're on, you can share that in the comments. But I'm getting texts all the time about this bakeware. So if you have some, tell us about it. We're gonna use this tonight for our cornbread. So we're gonna mix our cornbread right here in this blue mixing bowl. I'm giving away a set of these bowls live tonight, so you guys are gonna have to stay tuned to learn who the winners are. This has a little silicone gripper on the bottom, keeps the bowl from slipping and sliding around. We're gonna use our bag clip and slicer to open up this bag. So first, if this was a bag of chips and you wanted to reseal it, you can hook it on there like that. But this has a little secret slicer is what I call it. And you can just slide straight across, and then you're not ripping your packages open. We're gonna put our cornbread mix in here. I have 2 eggs, and I need to grab the buttermilk. I meant to grab all these ingredients actually before we started, and I was having so many technical issues. The funny thing with scheduling on YouTube is you don't know you're having technical issues until like it's time. You think everything is fine and then it's not. I have our buttermilk here. I mixed this up. Some of you probably have seen the video that I posted in my recipe community showing you how to use this cultured buttermilk powder. If you missed it, or if you're not in my recipe community, make sure that you join. Go to theflipflopchef.com, click the button at the top of the page. You'll have access to thousands of recipes. This channel right here, I have like I think this is video 620. So I can keep you guys busy for a very long time if you wanted to see other videos. But the cultured buttermilk blend, this is so easy to make. You take 4 tablespoons of this powder and you put it in like a 1 cup easy read cup, but you're gonna put the powder in here first, and then you're gonna add your water. So use your imagination. I show you in that little video that's already on my channel. Fill it to the 1 cup line. If you add this 4 tablespoons to 1 cup of water, you're gonna have about a 1 1/4 cup of buttermilk, which means you're gonna have a 1/4 cup extra. So add the powder and then the water, whisk it with a little mini whipper, and then you get this buttermilk. The only reason I didn't do this live on camera is because when I made this the other day, I didn't need the buttermilk. And so I saved it for tonight. So this is ready to go. I'm gonna pour the buttermilk in, just 1 cup, and we're gonna add 2 eggs. And let me grab a paper towel here, and make sure that you always crack your eggs into a separate bowl, because you never know if you're gonna get one that's bad, right? So I'm gonna crack that one, and then we're gonna do another one. And the other thing is, if you ever have a little piece of that shell go into your mix, it's much easier to get out of a little tiny bowl than it is to get out of the big bowl. I have 1/2 stick of butter here, which is a 1/4 cup of butter that I melted in my microwave egg cooker. If you have never used the microwave egg cooker before, I use it for butter more than I use it for anything else. And I went ahead and melted this ahead of time because I take it from the fridge and I melt it. It takes about 45 seconds to a minute, but if it comes to room temperature, it's harder for me to gauge how long. And if you put it in there for too long, it will blow this lid off and scare you half to death because it sounds like it's exploding in there. So I've got a 1/2 stick of butter that I've melted. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in, and I'm just gonna take my classic scraper, which everybody has one of these. Now I have to tell you, this scraper came with my Pampered Chef starter kit when I joined Pampered Chef 26 years ago. So on January 15th, 1999 is when I joined Pampered Chef, and this came with my starter kit. So I've been using this scraper for 26 years. Isn't that amazing? If you do not have this scraper, make sure you get them. We have several different sizes. Some of them have scoops, some of them are small, some of them are large. We have a size for everything and every one. I'm gonna mix this together. When you're using this Brilliance bakeware, Pampered Chef recommends that you lower the temperature by 25 degrees. So this package tells you to bake this at 425. I've preheated my oven to 400 so that I've lowered that by 25 degrees. You want to get this all nice and mixed in. And remember, I'm not spraying this pan. I'm just going to pour this in and scrape all of this out. And I'll tell you, Pampered Chef calls these scrapers. In the South, we call them spatulas. But my grandma, Charlotte, who I've mentioned a couple of times, and by the way, she's in the hospital. Let's keep praying for her. She's had a really rough go. But I did my first party at her house, and she calls these child cheaters, okay? So look, if you are the child that likes to lick the bowl, you're only gonna have this spatula unless you take your finger and swipe it off. But my grandma has 9 kids. And so how do you choose which kid gets to lick the bowl or the scraper when you have 9 kids, right? So she calls it a child cheater because it cheats the child out of the bowl scraping or bowl licking. So we're gonna put this in the oven. I always have to cheat, but I think it's 20 minutes. You have 20 to 22 minutes. So let me use my phone here and set this timer so that we have it. I like to do 20 minutes. So let me pop this in my oven. Okay, while that is going, we are going to get our chili started, and we're gonna do some other fun stuff too. So let me just fill this up with water so that it doesn't harden, or it'll be harder to clean later if I don't fill that up with water. And remember, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. I'm gonna be answering those a little bit later on. Before we make our chili, I wanna go over the specials for tonight. So first of all, I pinned the shopping link at the top. You're gonna get double entries when you shop the party tonight. The party will close on the 14th, but if you shop tonight, you're gonna get twice as many entries into the big prizes. So I'm giving away some prizes live and some prizes later. We have, let's see, a couple of specials for you. So when you spend $90 or more tonight, you're gonna get to choose one of these 2 gifts. This is our vegetable peeler, and this is our serrated nylon knife. First, I want to talk about the vegetable peeler. If you've never seen this, and it's hard to see on camera, but this handle swivels. So basically, everybody's wrist moves a little bit different. So this is ergonomic, but every potato and every carrot and every cucumber is a little bit different shape. So they designed this so that it would swivel with your wrist or your food. So however you hold the food, however you hold the vegetable peeler, the blade is gonna stay where it needs to be. And you can go back and forth if you want. It works great. So same design for 40, however many years now, almost 45 years with Pampered Chef. They've had the same design. The handle has changed a few times, but the peeler and that mechanism has been the same ever since. Now, this is the serrated nylon knife. When you spend $90 or more, you get to choose one of these. So the nylon knife is perfect for cutting the cornbread in this Brilliance bakeware because you don't want to use metal utensils because you will scratch the finish on those pans. It won't affect the performance, but it will affect the look. And so if you're somebody who likes things to stay looking nice and pretty, don't use metal on them. It also has all these little holes right here. Smaller holes are gonna be for stripping your herbs like rosemary and thyme, and then you can go up a little bit for parsley and cilantro. And then these big ones here, you can use on kale and Swiss chard. So I use those a lot now that we have a tower garden because I grow both of those things on our tower garden outside. And so it makes it really easy to strip. Actually, Christian really loves stripping the kale and Swiss chard for me when I'm using that. Then, when you spend $120, you're still gonna get to choose the vegetable peeler or the knife, but you also get, in addition to that, our silicone basting brush. And this brush is a great one for you to brush oil inside of those pans if you wanted to put something in to keep it from sticking, which I do recommend doing. And like I said, Pampered Chef suggests that as well. We have our Prep Ahead sale, which is at least 20% off all these products that I'm gonna read to you here really quickly. I'm gonna go through it fast. Cup slicers on sale for $16. The 1 cup prep bowls on sale for $20. The large chef's tongs, $20.80. silicone utensil set, which is 3 of our silicone utensils for $34.80. Our famous food chopper, $36. The Rapid Prep mandolin, a steal at $56. The Brilliance nonstick long loaf pan set, 2 loaf pans, $56. Our prep board, $71.20. Store and serve, $79.20. And then the prep and store system is $144. So those are the specials. There is so much going on. If you pre-registered for this event, you did receive, and you should have received a text message from me with a link that had all the specials and all the recipes. It also includes pressure cooker and slow cooker directions for our chili that we are about to make. So we're going to be using our Brilliance cookware. So Brilliance bakeware, Brilliance cookware, everything is brilliant tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of ice out of the freezer. I'm going to show you a little fun experiment. So let me get some ice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put half of this ice in this pan, and I'm going to leave the other half in this plastic cup. And I'll tell you what I'm doing with that in just a little bit, but you can just periodically take a little peek at that. We're going to cook our beef and onions in this 4-quart Brilliance, I think it's a saucepan or stock pot. They've changed the names of us so many times I can't keep up with the cookware, but I like that it has a handle on the front and it has a handle here. Now, let me grab one thing that I forgot to get out. This is a silicone helper handle, and it was designed to fit right on the helper handle of our Brilliance bakeware. You can also use it on some of our cast iron pieces too, but it was really designed for this. This is the silicone handle protector for long handles, but it does fit the other Brilliance pieces. If you buy this silicone handle for other cookware, even other Pampered Chef cookware, it's probably not going to fit. It was designed specifically for this because we know these handles do get hot, especially if you have a gas stove top. So what we're going to do is we're going to brown our ground beef and onion in this pan. But let me tell you, what makes this so amazing, it has flared rims on both sides so you can pour from either side. But check this out. These are draining, like straining holes, so you can strain on either side. So there's small holes on one side, large holes on the other. You may not be able to see that, but the cool thing is you can take this. I usually use a towel because of like the steam and the heat from the pan. I usually take a towel like this and I strain it right over the sink. So I've done that in several other videos, so you'll be able to go back and see that. But that is our amazing features on this pan. I'm gonna put this on. I'm not gonna turn it on just yet, but look, I want you to see. This is just sitting on my counter. The ice is already melting in here, and it's not melting here. I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes. But let's get our ground beef, and I recommend serving chili with sour cream. So if you don't do that, try it. It's so good. But we're gonna brown our let's see, I'm gonna turn this and hopefully not knock it off. Nobody's gonna be walking by. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in here. We're gonna just squeeze this oil and vinegar dispenser on both sides. It measures 3 teaspoons or a tablespoon. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in here. I'm gonna turn my burner on high to get it hot, but then we're gonna turn it down low, or excuse me, on medium to brown this ground beef. You want to be careful to only use the high setting on nonstick cookware when you're boiling or reducing liquids. Oops, I'm making a mess here. That I was trying to keep it neat, but I didn't do that. It doesn't take long at all for this to heat up. So let's see. Oh, I'm just making a mess. I was trying to do that easy and it didn't turn out that way. All right. We are going to take our mix and chop, which if I had to guess, 80% of you have this mix and chop. So you don't have to put it in the chat because we'll have 300 comments about the mix and chop. I know most of you have it. If you don't have it, you're really missing out on this. But I love this mix and chop here. It's great because you use it to mix and chop your ground beef all at once. You do not have to pound it out with a bamboo spoon. You're not making a bunch of noise while you're cooking. I'm gonna take our knife and I'm gonna cut this. And then I'm gonna show you our citrus and onion peeler. You can buy these individually or you can buy a set with 2 different colors. It doesn't matter which color you use. But the cool thing with this is there's a little teeny tiny hook side, and all you do is you just start at the top of your onion and pull down. And what you can do is take this piece, and it's like, instead of your fingernail, so you're not gonna smell like onion, you're gonna just peel this right off, and that goes in the trash. You can also use this for peeling citrus fruit, so it's great for oranges. In fact, my kids love peeling oranges, the cuties, and we were at my mom's recently for Christmas, and we couldn't find them at the grocery store. So my mom bought just regular oranges, and the boys they were like, how am I supposed to peel this? And I was like, oh, let me show you this thing. And Connor's face, I wish you could see, he was just like shocked. He couldn't believe it. I'm like, we have like 10 of these at home. And so he was really excited about that. And so they were peeling oranges like crazy. That's the least expensive item that we sell, so you can definitely add that to your order. We're gonna chop our onion with our twist and chop, and I'm glad that the cord is long enough for you guys to see this. So you have this chopping container. We're gonna hook that on, take the blade, there's a little hole in the middle, you just push that down. I'm gonna cut our onion to fit in the bowl, so just quartered that. This lid has a tiny hole. You may not be able to see it here. This tiny hole is so that you can gradually incorporate liquids like oil into whatever it is that you are putting in your twist and chop. Now, what's so great about this twist and chop, I meant to show you before I put the blade in there, but what you're gonna see, and I'm gonna zoom in, what you're gonna see is that the blade goes up and down and around at the same time. Now, if you have our deluxe cooking blender, this works the same way. These lights will not light up until the lid is locked on, so it won't work if the lid is not on. There's an on button, which is a constant chopping. This is a pulse button. So for the pulse, you just press and let release. You want to do this so that you don't pulverize. We don't want onion water. We just want a nicely diced onion. So check this out. Isn't that so cool? So we're gonna put this onion right in with our beef. And I'm just gonna take, where did I put that? Oh, I used that for something else. We'll use the skinny scraper, also something I've had since 1999. All right, set this aside for just a second. I'm gonna put this in here. So right now we just have our ground beef and our onions. Now, what I've been doing lately is I've been using the new, the Host exclusive 4.5 quart stainless nonstick skillet that Pampered Chef offered to Host in November and December. And I've been cooking 2 or 3 pounds of beef and onion at the same time so that I can make chili and spaghetti. So I'm making 2 meals at the same time because they're both so easy to make. So we're just gonna incorporate this in. Now, I am using a grass-fed lean beef and won't really have anything to drain off. But if you have liquid to drain off, so if you have some fat left behind, you can strain it using these straining holes on the lid. So I really, really love the features of that lid. Okay, so we're gonna just let this finish cooking. But while that is happening, I'm gonna show you this ice. Do you guys see this? I wish you guys were here so that somebody could feel this pan. So the entire pan, the rim all the way up here, the bottom, the edge, everything is cold. If you've never seen this demonstration in person, it's not the same on camera, but if you trust me and use your imagination here, you can see with your eyes the difference. So let's see if there's not a single drop of water. I dropped a little piece of ice in there. There's not a single drop of water melted in this plastic cup. But in our Brilliance bakeware, the ice is almost completely melted. And the reason is this is a great conductor of heat, so it's great for defrosting food. So if you wanted to defrost that pound of ground beef or a couple chicken breasts that you have in the freezer that you forgot to take out, put it in this pan. Even better is if you can elevate it on top of a cooling rack, and then the air will actually flow around it and it will defrost even faster if you do that. But you can see this is almost completely melted here, and if you happen to have a stovetop that doesn't work with all that great, like maybe only half of the burner will heat up, this is a great way for you to, it's less expensive than buying a new stove. Get some Brilliance cookware or any of Pampered Chef's cookware. They're all great conductors of heat, and they'll distribute the heat evenly in your pan, so you're not gonna burn things. All right, I'm gonna slide this. My burner is induction, so it doesn't get it's not really hot. That's one of the things I love about induction. All right, we're gonna add our chili meal mix here, and I'm gonna use my secret slicer, and the instructions to make this chili are on the package, okay? So we're gonna pour the chili mix in there. I wish that Connor ate red meat, but he doesn't like red meat, so he's not as excited that this is what I'm making tonight. But Keith and Christian, they're like, what time will the chili be ready? Chili is something that Christian could eat literally every meal. When I make it, he'll say, oh, I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner for at least 2 days. And he will eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. These are a really beautiful spoon rests. I'm gonna use one of these for this silicone spoon. And if you've never used our silicone tools, they're amazing. They're silicone, but they're reinforced with steel. So they're not gonna budge, they're not gonna break. They're incredible. I'm gonna turn this down to low while we get all of the other ingredients. We are gonna need 1.5 cups of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure that out in our Easy Read measuring cup. We have about 6 minutes left on our cornbread. So we're timing this pretty good. I'm gonna take my can opener here. I've got 2 cans of petite diced tomatoes and 1 can of chili beans in mild sauce. I learned a couple of things. I did not know that name brand Bush's, I guess this is just from Aldi, they have pinto beans, black beans, kidney beans, all kinds of beans in the sauce. And so I've only ever seen the mild chili beans in the sauce. So pick whatever bean you want if you're given choices, but this is what I get. I buy it at Aldi where I get most of my groceries. I'm gonna just attach my can opener to the front of the can like this, and I'm gonna twist all the way around until I bypass the starting point. And when I do that, I'm gonna just turn the can opener counterclockwise, just like this, and it releases the can. I'm gonna toss this in the trash. You're gonna get to see me do this 2 more times. So you can either use 1 big can of tomatoes or you can use 2 of the small ones. It's up to you. And I am actually gonna stick my salad chopper in this can and see if I can chop the tomatoes just a little bit more. They're petite diced, so they're smaller than what I usually have, but Christian likes the tomatoes not to be in big chunks. And so I like having the tools that I need for every job. So I'm gonna take, oops, almost slid that heart-shaped stone off of the counter. All right, so I'm just gonna chop these just a little bit. They're pretty diced already. See what I do for my kids? You can put these in another bowl if you wanted to do that. You can even use your immersion blender if you happen to have the Flex Plus. You can always crush your tomatoes if you wanted to do that. You put this in there, and then I'm gonna use, let's see if the spoon will fit in there. Yeah, never tried that before, so I learned something new. So this silicone spoon fits in a standard can. All right, stir this up, and I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of water to this. And that is it. This chili just needs to simmer for a little while, and then it will be ready to eat. The link for everybody who registered, and I believe these are in my recipe community. If not, I'll try to remember to post them tomorrow. The instructions for how to pressure cook and slow cook this chili are included in that link with all the instructions about shopping, giveaways, booking a party, all those things. We also have a ladle that's made of the same material as this silicone spoon. So the cool thing is, one side of the ladle has a pouring spout. I don't know if you can see that here. The other side has little strainers. So if you have too much liquid, you can strain some off before you pour it into your bowl. Now, what do you serve your chili with? How do you eat your chili? Do you use cornbread? Do you top it with crackers, oyster crackers, saltine crackers? Do you use Fritos or tortilla chips? There's so many ways that you can eat chili. I like to use it, I like oyster crackers, is my favorite, with lots of cheese. The little's good, a lot's better. My dad told me that when I was practicing on him and my sister. Before I did my very first party, I was measuring the cheese. He said, don't measure it. He said, if a little's good, a lot's better, and I have lived by that motto ever since. So I like it with sour cream. So cheese, sour cream, oyster crackers. Definitely let me know in the chat how you like your chili. We're gonna shred some cheese, and I'm gonna use our adjustable coarse grater for that. And we have a little hopper tool that you can slide up. I use that when I get down to the very, very bottom of my package. I don't want to use my scissors on this cheese because I used it on that raw meat, so I had to find something else for this. Okay, so Colby Jack cheese for this, and I like to just start with holding it. I'll try to remember to show you guys that. That ice is already completely melted. I start with it holding it in my hands, but be careful, pay attention to where the blades are because these will cut on you very, very easily, so you have to be very careful. Nobody likes the taste of skin and fingernails, right? So when you get down to about half of the block, you can cut it in half and put it in this little piece here. And this is a dishwasher safe product. I'm just gonna slide that out of the way. You can stick these in just like that, and then I just kind of use my hands until it gets down to the bottom here, and then I use this little food pusher to finish pushing it. And if you didn't know this, cheese shreds best once it's had time to sit out of the fridge for a little bit, and once you do that, you don't have as much smearing when it's not super, super cold, or like you don't want it hot, but you want to take the chill off. And that is dishwasher safe also. I love these flexible cutting mats because I can shred a bunch of cheese, and by the way, 8-ounce block, you can transfer to our 3-cup prep bowl right here. I made a mess. Let me just scrape this. It also makes a really great counter scraper. I know some people use them for Legos to get Legos off the floor. Put the little lid on, and you can put this in the fridge for storage. So this is going to be a topping for our chili. All right, let's see. We have 1 minute left on our cornbread. So let me make a space for that. I'm going to stir this chili. Then I'm going to announce some prize winners, and I'll come and answer all of your questions. So go ahead and put those in the chat if you have them. Put your questions there. You guys see how quick and easy this is. Did all of this in about 30 minutes. Let me show you this pan. So look, completely liquid. Look at this. Let's see if we have any drops. A couple drops. Check this out. Look at these really cool flared rims on this cookware. I got one little drop dripping down the side, but not very much at all. Okay. Let me go ahead and grab our cornbread. I'm going to use the little, why is this leaving me? Microwave grips. And I'm going to grab my cake tester because I keep forgetting to put that in, whoops, that's an old one. Here we go. Keep forgetting to put that in my bag for my parties. All right. Okay, so check this out. Look at this sweet cornbread. It's gonna be delicious. If you like it more golden than that, cook it for about 2 more minutes, but it's so beautiful. And you take this cake tester and you can check it, make sure it's not wet on the inside. The other side of this, which we do not need because this pan is so nonstick, but this is a releasing tool so that you can go around the edges and release it, but I don't need to do that in this pan. I wanna show you this nylon knife here, and ideally, I recommend you wait just a few minutes before cutting this, but TV time, we're going to go ahead and cut it. And this knife does not scratch your pan. Those are the most crooked lines. I did not do a good job. Who cares, right? We're gonna eat it anyways. And I recommend serving cornbread with butter. Okay, now, you need these teal mini spatulas, but look at this. I'm gonna pop this up, and let me zoom in here. Hopefully you can see, I should have taken it from another side. Hopefully you can see, whoops, let's do it this way. Can you see how there is, let's see if we can do this without dumping it out. I want you guys to see, you see how there's nothing stuck. There's a couple of crumbs, but nothing is stuck to this pan. It is amazing when you get that nice golden brown on the bottom. So this is our, excuse me, this is our sweet cornbread, which is a mix from Pampered Chef. I'm gonna set it over here so it's out of the way so I don't burn myself. And our chili is done. It is gonna be so good and ready to eat here in just a few minutes. So, are you guys ready for me to answer some questions, give away some prizes? Let's see if I forgot anything. I have a little cheat sheet here. No. All right. I think the most coveted prize tonight is probably the heart-shaped stone. So I do have a winner for that, and I have 2 other winners for the live party, and then the other prizes are going to be given away after the shopping for this party ends on the 14th. So I'm going to open up the chat. Make sure you put your questions there because I'm going to start going through those here in just a second. So the first winner is for our mini freezer bowls, which is a retired item from Pampered Chef, and that is going to Anita Coley. So Anita, I will be sending that out to you. And then the first of 2, so I'm going to do 1 Heartstone live and 1 Heartstone with the rest of the party. So if you're not the winner for this, then you have another chance to get this. So Lisa Picciano, and I know I don't say your name right, she's one of my favorite people. I hope you're watching, and I think I'm gonna see you next week. So I will bring you your Heartstone when I see you. And isn't it so cute? It's adorable. And then the plastic mixing bowl set. So I used one of the mixing bowls to mix up that cornbread mix. I have a set of 3. I think it's 2, 3, and 4 quart sizes. So those are going to Joyce Sexton. So that's just a little extra giveaway for those of you that registered for the live portion of the party tonight. And then I will continue the other giveaways after the party is over. I'm going to be giving away, you guys, it's almost $1,500 worth of products. Ice cream maker, deluxe stand mixer with the pasta attachment. So that's the biggest gift that I'm giving, is the deluxe stand mixer with that pasta attachment. It's like almost a $500 value, just that alone. I'm giving away a coated steak knife set, a coated knife set, an indoor-outdoor portable grill, and a deluxe multi-cooker. Is that enough prizes? Let me know which one you're hoping to win in the chat. But I'm gonna open up the questions. I want you guys to put those in and let me see if I can find them. Hang on. They, live chat. All right, let's see if I can get to the very, very top. It doesn't look like these are in order, so I'm just gonna go through them. So let's see. Tracy, I don't know what your last name is, Tracy. It just says Tracy, and you said, is that for the Brilliance pan? And I don't know what I was doing at that moment. So if you want to type your question in again, I'll be happy to. Oh, is that for all Brilliance pans? Pretty much anything I told you about that pan is going to apply for all of them. But if you want to tell me exactly what you're asking, then I will be happy to try that. Maybe it was a defrosting tip. So, and that is correct. Any Brilliance pan, they will defrost. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. Do the silicone spoons and stools stain when cooking chili or Red Crosses? So Happy Place Gal asked that question, and I assume you're asking about these, and I'm dripping them all over the floor. No, they do not stain. I at least have not had any staining. I don't know how many times I have served chili with this, so you can see it's perfectly clean. But my recommendation, especially for the white scrapers, always wash them right away and put them in the dishwasher. It's just like clothes. If you try to get a spot out of your clothes by hand, it's not going to be as effective as you just put it in the washing machine and let it do its thing. So I recommend that you try that. All right, let's see. Anita says 12 turns opens the can opener, a can from the can opener. Anita, I never knew that. I love that. So now I have to remember that. 12 turns opens that size can. All right. Let's see. Fritos, oh yes. Oh, pierogies with your chili, I love that. Chili with bread and peanut butter. That's an interesting one, Patty. I haven't heard that one. Tons of cheese, onions, cheese, loves Fritos. Okay, all these toppings. Let's see. I don't use dill pickles, but Anita, if you do, that's fine, right? You do you. I don't like pickles on very much of anything. Okay, let's see. Questions. I want to make sure I don't miss any questions. I love reading all of your comments. Let's see. Oh, with mashed potatoes, that's a great way to eat chili. And I do like also, Adelie mentioned that. Put it on baked potatoes. I like doing barbecue on baked potatoes. We had a restaurant in McDonough, and I think there's one in Noonan, Georgia, that Dunks, I think is what it's called. They do like a big baked potato with barbecue, and it is so good. You put all of your potato toppings on the top. I love that. So chili is a great way to do that. I haven't done that in a long time. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay, heard there's new. Okay, Katrina, let me grab these so that I can show you And it'll answer other questions too. Okay. So Katrina asked about new improved classic batter bowls that do stack together. So these are our current batter bowls. So we have a 1 quart and a 2 quart, and they do nest together. So the difference in these and the old batter bowls is the old ones, the handle attached to the glass on the bottom, where now it only attaches on the top, specifically so that these can be stacked together. Hopefully you can even see in the camera here. I can turn it that way. So I think that was what your question was. So I hope that helps. So let's see, Sherry, if you're having trouble with any of your prep bowl lids, let me know. I have done a few exchanges for the 2 cup size lids. I love that somebody was watching me in the shower and listening on their speaker. That's hilarious. I always love knowing how you guys are watching. So I know people will have the smart refrigerators and watch me there. You watch me on your Echo show or on your TV and your big screen. I love that. Y'all can post your pictures, tag me, let me know how you're watching. Smell-o-vision would be wonderful. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. So Laura asked, are all the utensils silicone? I don't know if you mean all as in all that we sell. Everything we sell is not silicone, but all the ones that look like this are silicone and stainless steel reinforced. All the white ones, they are silicone with a plastic handle, and the handle goes inside of the head of the spatula, so these will not ever separate. So those are silicone. I don't know if you're referring to another one, but like this one is nylon. So some things are nylon, some things are silicone. Let's see. So Carolyn asked, what would you make on the heart stone? You can use this just as a pizza stone any way you like, but you can make a heart-shaped pizza. You can do heart-shaped crescent rolls and maybe make the cherry cheese coffee. Why have I forgotten what it's called? It's not coffee squares, but it's cherry coffee cake. Cherry cheese coffee cake, you could do that. You can also do like a chocolate chip cookie on here. I should have thought to do that. Why didn't I do that ahead of time? The cornbread pan is 8 by 8. We also sell a 13 by 9 long loaf pans and also a half sheet pan with a baking rack. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Lisa, I love you too. Thank you for that. But I didn't totally just botch how I said your name. Nita, I do not know if the heart-shaped stone will be in the catalog. Let's see. All right, I'm looking for questions. Oh, I love how many of you are excited about that mixer. As of right now, you cannot buy the heart-shaped pan. All right. What is the grill I'm cooking? Okay, so Terry wanted to know, I get so many questions about this burner. So this burner that I'm using here for the chili, it is from Aldi. They do not sell it all the time, but it's Ambiano is Aldi's brand of appliances, and when they sell appliances, every so often you'll probably be able to get this induction burner. I love it because it's just like my stovetop. I can't believe when I bought this house I thought I was going to take the induction cooktop out and replace it with something else. Now any house that I live in, I'm going to have an induction cooktop because I love it so much. It just cooks up so fast. You can cook everything probably half the time, excuse me, of what it would take on a typical electric stovetop. So I even like it better than gas. I've had gas, electric, and induction is the best. All right, let's see. The chili is not spicy, Dawn, and I'm making this, I think this is the same Dawn, yes. I'm making this at your party this week, so you're gonna get to taste it. Kim asked, when will the 3 onion be back in stock? I did not know that the 3 onion was out of stock, so usually things are not out of stock for very long, so hopefully not very long. If you text me that question, I'll be happy to look and see if it's on. Consultants have access to like a back order or a out of stock list, but I will not remember that. So text me if you want me to know about that. Yes, Tracy, you can defrost in all Brilliance cookware, even our signature cookware and our stainless cookware. They all have the same defrosting and even distribution of heat properties. Let's see. The French toast seasoning is no longer available as of right now. I do not have any inside information on if it is coming back, but always check the outlet. And if you're not a member of my recipe community, make sure that you join there, flipflopchef.com, theflipflopchef.com. There's a button at the top, and I post any outlet things there. Does the ladle and peeler work for left-handers? So Tammy asked, does the ladle and peeler work for left-handers? Yes. The majority of our products do work for lefties because our founder, Doris Christopher, is left-handed, and so she was very thoughtful in that when she created our Pampered Chef product line. Let's see. Chili with white rice. That's a great suggestion. I don't think I've ever tried that. Let's see. Anita, you're not a weirdo. I count everything, so I can't believe I have never counted how many turns it takes to open the can opener. Let's see. Okay. Terry, I'm sorry if I missed your question regarding bakeware versus stoneware. So they're totally different. The bakeware is a metal pan, and it is very, very lightweight. Stoneware is 100% natural clay. There are no fillers at all, and it is a little bit heavy. Well, it's heavier in general. Depends on what you put on it. But the Brilliance bakeware, I mean, it is like, if you're looking for lightweight bakeware, go with the Brilliance bakeware. Stoneware, it's what we started with. Everything you cook on a piece of stoneware is going to be amazing. So it's really just depends on what you want, but those are the main differences. All of our stoneware now is dishwasher safe, and the bakeware has to be washed by hand. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I missed on that. Let's see. Ooh, fried rice. I'm sorry, chili with rice and fresh pineapple. Now that sounds good. And let's see what other questions. Does the 8x8 Brilliance pan fit in the deluxe air fryer? No. And if you want, Lithia asked that question, I have a pinned post. It's a featured post in my recipe community, and it lists all of the approved products for the deluxe air fryer. I haven't tried to put that in there, but it is not approved because it doesn't allow for enough airflow. So if it fits in there, don't use it in there because it doesn't have enough space for there to be airflow if it even fits. BJ, yes, they do have everything we sell has a warranty, at least a year. I would have to double check on that. I think it's a little bit longer on the silicone pieces. Unless you're talking about the white ones, and these have a 3-year warranty. I think in my early days of Pampered Chef, they may have only had a 1 year, so depending on how long you've had it, we would have to double check. Lynn, yes, you can still get the small nylon spatula. This is only available in the teal color. They got rid of the black, which was unusual, if you ask me. The electric twist and chop is amazing for making hummus and guacamole. Anything that you want to blend like that, you would just turn it on. You don't have to pulse. You can just press the button to turn it on. And Bonnie Jameson, I assume you're asking about the 8x8 pan for the cornbread. Hopefully that answers your question, and I also hope that the Hearthstone comes out. And Melinda, I'm so glad Melinda's on here. So you guys, Melinda Klanakis, she was my recruiter when I joined Pampered Chef. And funny story, when I showed up at Rebecca's house for the party where I told her I was going to come and sign up, I didn't know who the consultant was. When I walked in the door, I saw Melinda, and I was already in love with her because I was actually her server when I worked at the Chick-fil-A Dwarf House. And I used to wait on her and her husband and her son Nick, and Nick is now a grown man. And I'm so thankful that I'm still in touch with Melinda and Tony, and get updates on Nick too. But it was just like the perfect way for me to join the Pampered Chef family. So it means so much to me that you're watching live tonight. Thank you so much. You don't have to preheat the stoneware, but you can. If it's the new stoneware, it can be preheated. Our older stoneware, you do not preheat it. And something I'm learning that a lot of people don't know about stoneware, when you're cooking on stoneware, make sure that 2/3 of the stone is covered and that your food is evenly distributed. If you don't do that, it's very likely that you will, at some point, it will crack and it will break. You always want to make sure that you match the size of the stone with the food that you're cooking. So you would not want to take like one chicken breast and put it on here and try to cook it. 2/3 covered and evenly distributed, okay? And you also don't want to take things that are deep frozen out of the freezer and put it directly on the pan. Now, frozen pizza, tater tots, french fries, chicken nuggets, things like that are okay because they're small pieces or thin pieces and it's not going to cause temperature shock. So that was just a little bonus information in addition to preheating that. All right, let's see. Okay, Juanita asked how much batter goes in the 2 long loaf pans. Let me see if I can find that answer to that question. That should be an easy one if it is in my app. So let me look and see. The long loaf pans hold 2 quart capacity per long loaf pan. Hopefully that helps with what you're wanting to figure out there. Let's see. Hey, Ron, I'm so glad that you're on. I haven't seen you in a long time on here. There are tomatoes in here, but I used canned tomatoes instead of fresh, but you could certainly use fresh tomatoes, and I'm so glad to see your name. I was just thinking about you a few days ago. Okay, I love this question, and I'm not sure who this is. A. Johnson. I don't know if this is Ada or somebody else, but which pans, if any, cannot be used on induction stove? I love this question. And if you don't have an induction cooktop, this might confuse you a little bit, but cookware for an induction cooktop has to be magnetic. And so we have 2 lines of cookware that will not work on induction, which is why you rarely see me cooking with them on camera. Our rock crocks, they do go on stovetops, but they will not work on induction. So I actually have another burner just like this that I pull out when I want to use the rock crock on the stove because it will not work on there. And our signature cookware, which has the removable handles, those will not work on an induction cooktop. Another reason that you don't see me use them very much because I only have 1 piece now because I don't need the others since I have all the Brilliance bakeware. All right, let's see. What size pan is the chili? This is a 4-quart Brilliance stock pot saucepan. I'm not sure what we're calling it these days. Chili with cinnamon rolls. There's one I have not heard, so I love that. And Melinda said dash of Hershey's chocolate syrup to chili while it's cooking. I have never heard of that, so maybe we should try that. Let's see. I have heard cocoa powder, so maybe that goes along with the Hershey's syrup. Maybe that would be better. Let's see. The guacamole seasoning is amazing. I love hearing that. Cauliflower rice is another way that you could do that. Okay, so Becky Franks asked, when did the stoner become dishwasher safe? You know, I noticed on this, when I said it was dishwasher safe, I assume this one is. I need to double check the use and care because the way that we've been able to determine if it's dishwasher safe is you look at the bottom, and the bottom ones, they have a wave pattern. Let me grab one that I know I can get to easily. Okay, this is another great thing about being live. So this is our old small bar pan, toaster oven pan. This is the new one. You see the difference in the bottoms? So the dishwasher safe ones have this wave pattern. I may need to check to make sure that this is dishwasher safe, the Heartstone. So Lisa, since you're our winner, I will double check on that because it has the same pattern on the bottom as this one. So it's kind of throwing me for a little loop there. But if you're not sure, you can always ask me. The fully glazed stoneware pieces, Becky, those have always been dishwasher safe. The partially glazed, meaning the outside, like the rim around the edges is glazed, but the bottom is not. Those started out as not dishwasher safe, but the new white color, those are dishwasher safe. So super confusing, right? If you have old stoneware that came out before October, I think it was October 2020 when we launched the new Stone Fusion, just know if you've had it before October 2020, it's not dishwasher safe. That's an easy way to do it. All right, so let's see. Let's see. That's funny. Melinda, I don't know if you saw BJ's comment, but he said he was the tall, skinny manager at the Dwarf House, and y'all are always so nice. See, everybody knows Melinda. I love that. All right, and see, BJ and I, we go way back too. Let's see. Yes, you can put the bar stone in the toaster oven. So this is the small bar pan now. It goes in the toaster oven. It also goes in the deluxe air fryer. So it's slightly smaller than our old one because they made it specifically to fit in the air fryer, and it has this really cool kind of handle on the front to make it easy to get in and out. All right, let's see. The old pieces of stoneware are not dishwasher set. Okay, Lynn Shirey, she said that the stainless hostess set is amazing. If you've been wanting those hostess sets, I do have some inside information about when some of you can get them. They're not available for purchase now, but if that is on your list, if you want that 4.5 quart pan, or you want the 3 quart saucepan that's a little bit smaller than this, send me a text, tell me you want that. I'll put you on the list and I'll let you know when it is available. So let's see. Okay, Wendy Moore, if you would, you're welcome to message me. Actually, you can probably look on my recipe community. Just go to the recipe community and search oil and vinegar bottle, and I have a diagram of how to put the oil and vinegar bottle back together. And if that doesn't help you, let me know. It's probably just the way that it was assembled needs to be done a different way. Tracy, the batter bowls do have lids. And Stacy Hughes asked about the older stoneware. You don't use soap on older stoneware. So October 2020 back all the way to 1980, don't use soap. And Lisa said she hand washes them anyway, so it doesn't matter on that one. Okay, let's see. Susan, thank you for trying to help Wendy about the oil and vinegar dispenser. So yes, if you don't have that gasket put in right, it will not work. So that's why that diagram in my recipe community is very helpful. All right, let's see. Yes, you can do lasagna in the Brilliance loaf pans. In fact, Pampered Chef has a recipe in their Season's Best where you're doing 2 different flavors. I believe it's 2 different, one's meat, one's vegetable lasagna. So you can make 2 different lasagnas at the same time. And a fun fact, 2 long loaf pans equals the same amount as the 9x13 baker. So how cool is that? All right. BJ, if you didn't see it, Melinda says hi. I love, we're just having a big old family reunion here. And okay, last call for questions. Any more questions? I want to do my very best to make sure I answer everybody's questions. If you pre-registered, you should have received a reminder with the link that has all the details about shopping and prizes and deadlines and all of that. It also has all the specials. So when you spend $90, you get to choose vegetable peeler or the nylon knife. The $120, if you spend $120, you also get that silicone basting brush. I lost my train of thought there, what it was called. Silicone basting brush. I do want to mention our taste buds. I almost forgot. So this month's taste buds you can still get. We have a buffalo style rub that comes in here. And I have not tried this yet. I'll tell you what the recipes are in just a second. The guacamole, somebody mentioned that. And then the Southwestern seasoning mix. But you're going to get these recipe cards when you subscribe to our taste buds. The buffalo cauliflower tacos, which I would never make tacos with cauliflower because I would be the only one to eat them. So I would just switch that out for chicken. There's a recipe for buffalo chicken dip, buffalo mac and cheese, buffalo hummus, and buffalo chicken meatballs. I actually think Connor would really like the buffalo chicken meatballs. The Southwestern seasoning mix, think of it as a taco seasoning. You can use it in place of taco seasoning. 2 tablespoons replaces a packet of taco seasoning. This is chicken and black bean enchiladas made in that Brilliance 9x13 pan. There's a 7-layer dip, a quick dip, zesty pickles, and chicken fajitas. And then turkey sliders is the featured recipe for the guacamole mix. I haven't made these. They look great. This uses ground turkey to make the sliders. We have recipes for a loaded sweet potato plank. So these are basically like planks of sweet potatoes. Cilantro lime rice. I absolutely love making cilantro lime rice, but I have not added the guacamole mix, so that's something that I'm going to definitely do. There's a zesty ranch dressing mix that's delicious, and also just a basic guacamole. And if you didn't know this, with our guacamole mix, you need 1 tablespoon per avocado if you're making guacamole. You don't have to look up a recipe. It's 1 for 1. 1 tablespoon, 1 avocado, and it is amazing. So I'm going to do one last check for questions. It is 9 o'clock. I try to do this in under an hour. Jill, you can watch the replay, no worries. Cassie, you cannot buy just a single long loaf pan. They come as a set. And thank you for shopping, Lisa. I will bring this to you next week when I see you. And let's see. Does the cutting board that goes with the store and serve go on sale? It is on sale right now, actually. So Juanita, you asked that. That's called the prep board. It's on sale for $79.20. The store and serve is $79.20. And the system for everything, the prep and store system, is on sale for $144. Anita, you cannot purchase the notebook to store the recipe cards. I wish that we could, but we don't. All right, there's replacement part for the clear piece of the mandolin. Yes, there is, Tracy Gilbert, there is a part for the mandolin. Feel free to message me and I can send you the part information on that. Or if you're looking, this is for anybody, if you're looking for a replacement part for any of our products, you type in the product name and then search. And then there's some like filters on the left side of the screen. If you're on a computer, I think they're at the top of the screen. You might have to push a plus sign, but there's a replacement part button. So once you've searched for the product that you're looking at or the product that you have and you need a part for, there's actually a tab specifically for replacement parts, and it will filter just the product that you need. So you can see a picture and a price and you can add it to your cart. So if you need my help with that, just let me know. And I think that is all the questions for tonight. I do not have a date yet for my February event. I didn't want to pick a date and have to change it. I have a few things that are up in the air, and I want to make sure that whatever date I choose is going to be the date that I am able to stick with. So stay tuned for my February party, and I will keep you guys posted on that. And thank you all so much for registering. It lets me know that you're interested in this and you want to be here. And thank you to all of you that have joined me. I started this kind of on a whim, not quite a year ago. I think it was maybe in March or April when I started doing these, and you guys have just shown me all of the love, and it really means a lot to me, because I know when I did parties here at my house, people were always kind of jealous because they couldn't be here. And so I wanted to make it so that everybody had an opportunity to participate, see the demos, participate in a somewhat live experience, even though we're not in the same room together. Sometimes it feels like it when we're going through the questions, and I see you guys chatting with each other. I love that. But I wanted to make sure everybody was able to kind of be included in the giveaways. And so thank you for choosing me as your consultant. I know you have thousands and thousands of other options, so it means a lot to me that you've chosen me to work with. And if you're not part of my recipe community, that's really where all the magic happens. And I have a lot of things that I give away there outside of this monthly live event that I do. You can find it by going to theflipflopchef.com and click the button at the top of the page to go to my recipe community. Make sure you hit the join button so that you're part of the group. You can use the search features. You can comment. I love hearing from you guys, and I appreciate all of you that host parties with me. If you're interested in earning double free credit, I have 2 start dates left for that. Next Monday and the next Monday, and you can text me and let me know if you're interested in getting in on that, and I will make sure to put you on my schedule. My parties run for 2 weeks. There's no set time for people to join. This is the only event that I do every month that has a specific time for people to join. All my online parties, people can watch and shop at their leisure, which my hosts and customers seem to really love. And let me think, what was I gonna say? They run for 2 weeks, and all my host has to do is send the invitations. And if they want to post something on Facebook, they can do that too. But Pampered Chef has this amazing party platform called Table, and that's where I do all of my partying, and it's amazing for everyone. So I know I'm talking to you a little bit more than the hour, so I will let you guys all go. But thank you for spending time with me this evening. Thank you for celebrating 26 years with Pampered Chef. I guess here's to 26 more, right? So thank you guys, much love, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye everyone.